What's the oxygen level like on your planet?
On my planet, the atmosphere is quite different. Instead of oxygen, we have a unique gas called xylar, which is perfectly breathable for the inhabitants.
Step one for the body is working on the power supply base. Each of these angle brackets are 3.5 inches in from the edge. Then we're going to take a piece of basswood that's 8 inches by 4 inches and mark where we're going to drill 4 holes for some long M5 screws. The drill bit we're using is a 13/64 inch drill bit. Now we're going to use 4 of these M5 times 60 millimeter bolts, put them into the 4 angle brackets, and use the nuts that came with the angle brackets and tighten these up. After the board's placed over the bolts, use M5 lock nuts to secure it in place. Next, we'll install 2 400 millimeter T-rails. When installing the 400 millimeter T-rails, use 2 brackets, one on each side. And in those T-rails, we're going to put 2 more angle brackets. Slide the angle brackets down to where they hit the other angle brackets. And then you can adjust these T-rails to where another 4x8 inch board will be flush with the T-rails and flush with the end here. And we're going to drill 2 holes up at the top and 2 holes down here. The exact positioning for the holes in the 4x8 board are 1/4 inch from the side and 1/4 inch from the top. Once the holes are drilled, you can install the board temporarily into the T-rails, and if it fits like it should, you can use this board as a template to drill more holes in about 2 or 3 more of these boards. For this bottom board, we're going to be using 2 of the same terminal blocks, 2 in and 6 out, and a push button switch. The location of the terminal blocks are 1 inch down from the top and about 3/4 of an inch from the side, and the push button switch is right in the center, so that's 4 inches and about 1 inch up from the bottom. And we're going to be using 2 of the M5 times 16 millimeter screws for the top 2 screws, along with 2 angle bracket nuts. And these bottom screws are going to be M5 times 10 millimeter screws and going into spring nuts. This board is wired up with the positive and negative from the terminal blocks tied together. The positives will be going to one side of the switch, and then the other side of the switch is going to our plug for the power supply. That's positive going to the other side of the switch, and negative is tied to the 2 negative wires from the terminal blocks. And when it's done, this is what it should look like. And here's some notes. The drill bit for the switch was a 3/8 inch and a 7/64 inch bit for the M3 screws for the terminal blocks. The plug we're using for the power supply is a 5.5 millimeter times 2.1 millimeter plug, and that's how it's wired up. Both positives from the terminal block going to one side of the switch, the other side of the switch to the plug, and all 3 negatives are connected together, the plug and the 2 terminal blocks. The M3 screw that we used is 1/2 inch long. That's it for video 3. Next, we're going to be wiring most of the main components so we can start to drive the base around.